There's a tale told somewhere south of Burma. It tells of one man's rendezvous with death. A man who, when pushed far enough, retaliated. How he faced down an army and spilled a river of blood. Naysayers shake their heads, discounting the legend, but the fact remains. It's all true. I knew the man, and for a while, I loved him like a son. The French hightailed it in '54, and the U.S. didn't yet have boots on the ground. For a while, Indochina offered safe haven to men who had reached the end of the line. European war criminals, ex-Nazis, and other undesirables. Or men with a price on their head in the West. Men like Martin Tillman.
Mấy tụi bay, làm việc, mau lên!
The tiger and the elephant, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, c'est le soir. Allez! Allons!
Monsieur Rossignac, may have the honor.
My name is Jean-Pierre Rastignac. I have been known by many names, but the one that I'm most commonly associated with is the Executioner. I face you as an equal. With the exception of this blade, we're quite fairly matched.
They told me if I fought, I would go free.
This fight was your salvation, but you lost.
vite, ici! Dégage! À genoux, fils de putain!
Vas-y, tire. Tu vas prendre ma place.
You shouldn't have done that to the corporal. I asked the guards why a colonial police station with only one small jail would keep a prisoner for 3 years. They said only you knew the answer. Most prisoners who end up here have no hope. I thought I might
You
help.
come twice a week with flowers for him. And he turns you away.
I can bring you fruit. The food here is not
I
healthy.
don't need your help. Don't waste your time on me.
You're not a waste of time. You're just lost. I'll come see you again, in case you change your mind.
That agent is here again.
He's persistent.
I can kill him if you order it.
The world is changing, Paul.
We must adapt with it.
Isn't it your job to transition the local police into power? The side effect being that for a brief few years, you're neither beholden to the authority of the French nor the Vietnamese.
Mr. Harrison, what can I do for you?
Ho Chi Minh strength in the North grows as President Diem's influence in the South diminishes. The Americans are watching and will send more advisors within the year. You and your kind will have to find a different flea pit to lord over.
Perhaps.
I might be of valuable assistance to you when they arrive.
At what price to me?
MI6 would like to extradite Martin Tillman to face criminal charges in Great Britain.
There's no one of that name here.
You're overlooking a potential opportunity here, Colonel. I know what you did in the war. You'll need a friend like me if you're going to deal with the Americans.
Corporal Chef Boone, please escort Mr. Harrison out.
When I was a little girl, I rescued a stray dog. A fighting dog that had been left for dead. I looked at those black eyes and felt the ultimate betrayal. Some animals are not meant to be caged, Martin.
Why are you talking to me?
You made some bad decisions. That's all. I'll be back next week. Goodbye.
Why do you bother coming back for him?
We build our own cages, Martin.
Alcohol's an easy panacea here. Black Jamaican rum. It'll help you forget your sins without losing your edge.
You assaulted a superior officer in '53. You have served 3 years of a 6-month sentence. What does that tell you?
Tells me I'm not the only criminal in this room.
In the north, you're just an ex-legionnaire with a price on his head. In the south, you're just another ex-con with no passport. That too is a writ of judgment against you. An execution warrant in Great Britain. You're not so dissimilar to us. Take Senor Rastignac, Spanish Blue Division, fought heroically for the Third Reich. Corporal Chef Boone of the 5th Vietnamese paratroopers, once a hero, now hunted by the Viet Minh as a traitor. And Senor Amarillo, loyal to Bertin, and fought until the end in Berlin.
Salty. This room is full of men who back their own horses, indeed.
I'm feeling charitable. So, I'm fulfilling my obligation to you. I'm paroling you. Effective immediately.
You saying I'm free to go?
Our glorious run together is over. For most of us, Indochina will be the last outpost. But perhaps we could work together again under different circumstances.
If you ever find yourself in spot, I can always use a man with a talent like yours.
I think I'll just be moving along.
Think about it, Martin. You don't look like a man with many opportunities.
You owe me now. You ever see me again, don't you dare presume to forget that.
Are you sure this is wise?
I want a British agent out of my affairs.
The old colonel was right. Martin wouldn't go far. He headed to the only person he knew outside of the camp, which is where I met him.
This is Martin, the one I was telling you about. I have to leave now. I want the two of you to be friends. It's nice seeing you again, Martin Tillman.
There was once an Irish boxer named Tillman. Showed potential. And disappeared. Looked after her since she was knee-high to a jackrabbit. She believes in the good in man. I don't.
You tell me where I can get a meal, I'll be leaving.
I have no beef with you, son. And I could use a good bouncer. You look like you can handle yourself. She says you're a straight shooter.
When I was inside, she'd visit every week. Always bringing flowers for the commandant.
You don't know. God bless her innocent heart. Give me the picture. I'll be damned if that old flesh merchant, Hans Steiner, hid her own father. Take some flowers once a week, in the hope that he'll sit her on his knee and kiss her cheek. He refuses to see her. Steiner married his Congai, local girl, whom he later suspected of deceiving him. When Isabel was born, they gave him sufficient reason to deny her. I was Steiner's valet, saw the whole thing. Adopted Isabel. She deserves better than either of us. You ever hurt Isabel, and I'll kill you faster than I can shank a salmon. And that's damn quick, boy. There's an old storage shed out back you can bunk in. You'll mostly deal with drunks. Ever so often, some lame duck paws a girl. They get one polite request. Then, do whatever it takes.
Cheers. That'll do it.
You know, you're just like I was, Martin. But you ain't so old. You can still change your path.
I'm nothing like you. I'm young, handsome, and I burn in the sun.
You son of a bitch.
But I have to say, you're the only person in my whole life who ever went out of his way to help me. I appreciate that.
Even the worst of us wants to be loved. And for a time, Martin enjoyed a peace he'd never known before. Baron Valentine, certainly more. Mais oui, certainly more. He was a freed prisoner. She was an innocent who had watched her injured patient limp back to life. It was only natural that they would develop feelings for each other.
I'm not sure Valentine it'll.
Is that what you believe in?
No, I was never a believer. I joined the fight because my dad and my brother are ahead of me. Where I come from, that's just what you did.
Your home is here now, Martin Tillman. Leave the past behind.
He turns to his friend and says, Seamus, I told you last night you fucked a penguin. Yeah, you know, it's so damn easy to get so wrapped up in life that you miss the precious moments like this.
Toast to the future.
The future.
Well, we damn sure ain't drinking to the past.
I'm not going back where we've been before.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No, seriously, TJ, I was out in New York. 2 weeks. I mean, what?
Have you broken your hands?
Well, it's without breaking my hands. I've become a fucking baker.
Fair enough.
Never let it go. Hey, you did. We went toe to toe.
Get the fuck out of here. Who's this cunt think he is, huh?
We got ourselves an hard nut, lads. There's a pretty penny out there for Legion deserters. You know that. You look like a fellow who likes a good tear-up. Well, you know what? This is your lucky day, son, because so do I. Shh. Shh. Listen. Is that your knees I hear knocking?
Go home. If the idea is to have a fight, well, now's your fucking chance.
told you I'm fine, okay?
You're not fine.
I'm fine.
Turn your head.
Just
Big
joking.
baby.
Now it makes sense.
We're closed. Come back tonight.
My country. My laws. My revolver.
Martin and I are friends. Care if I sit down?
Not my call.
Thank you.
Isabel, you better go. Come on.
Does she still believe she's Steiner's daughter?
She is Steiner's daughter.
At great expense, our mutual friend, Colonel Steiner, flew in a champion boxer. Last night, someone knocked him out cold. I decided I should be the responsible party.
Mr. Valentine told you we're closed. Why don't you come back tonight?
You just burned the most dangerous man in Indochina. Right now, you need me more than anyone else in the world. Why don't you come back and fight for us? Steiner had the British agents sent north, so you can make some money. Life can be good.
Take my chances here if it's all the same with you.
If you change your mind, you know where to find me. Steiner needs to relocate his operation. A bar like this would be a perfect fit.
Not my favorite customer. We're closing early tonight.
Brought you bad luck.
Bad luck resides in our unconscious. We inflict it on ourselves.
Seems to find me.
Listen to me, son. I saw something inside you out there in the rain. Maybe you need to stop running away from it. Embrace it.
Martin!
I didn't think you'd be up this early.
I'll pray for you.
I want you to promise me something. Don't ever watch me fight, or bet on me, or be any part of what happens to me when I get into that ring.
I don't understand.
Something happens to me in there. It's a part of me I don't want you to see. I bring bad luck to the people around me.
Martin Tillman.
I've considered your offer, and believe I'll take you up on it.
Well, that wasn't so difficult, was it?
That's right, a champ is here! Champ is here! And who's gonna win? Who? Yes! The champ!
Gin and tonic highball, old boy. 3 ounces of gin to 4 ounces of tonic water. Splash of lemon if you have it.
I think I can find some lemon juice somewhere.
I've been in the north. It's refreshing to hear English spoken again.
Diplomatic service?
You might say that. I'm looking for an Irishman. A boxer.
He was here, but now he's gone. There are 100 local criminals in this vicinity. Nazis on the run, murderers, wanted war criminals. What's with this guy?
In 1946, Martin Tillman set off several large bombs targeting RUC and B special units. We know he was working with his father and brother, who were part of a flying column for the IRA. But as they were killed in one of the blasts, he's our loose end, you might say.
Can't help you.
Well, if he does turn up, you can find me via the British Embassy. You look like a man that could do with £10,000. The reward money for information expediting his apprehension. Do you know what £10,000 looks like in French piastres, Mr. Valentine?
I hear you give your money to Valentine. You ever wonder how you would do in a regular boxing match? Big money in America. Madison Square Garden. Imagine that. I used to know people, politicians, investors. But I am S.S. Steiner. And you are IRA Tillman. I was sentenced to death by a war tribunal, absentia. And you have the British Secret Service hunting you. So, all that we shall ever be is this, that we are right now. Dearest Isabel, I'm sorry I have not been in touch. I deeply, profoundly loved your mother. And I'm sure what you would really wish for me to say is that, well, that I love you too. Well, unfortunately, I do not. For you are, at best, the daughter of a whore, and deserve no such dignity for your wishful thinking. I was blinded by my own lust and inexperience. I could never love the daughter of the woman who made a cuckold of me. You are nothing but another faceless varmint inhabitant of this festering wasteland. Cordially, Einsteiner.
How you doing?
We're winning so far.
There was a British agent here asking after you.
Figured he'd catch up to me eventually.
The money's good, Martin, but I don't need it. Neither does Steiner. You can quit when you want. That's my military passport. We can put your picture in it.
Steiner wouldn't like it.
Forget Steiner. Take the money from tomorrow's flight. Go to America. Take Isabel with you. You're as good as back in jail here. And you don't even know it. Go to the States. Get away. Taste real freedom.
What about you?
I'll head south with my girl. She's got family down there.
I'll do the next fight. Then I'll have 2 weeks till the next one. That'll give us time to get out of him.
Whatever wrong you've done doesn't matter to anybody. Until you decide to go on living.
$100,000 French piastres. That's the biggest pot you've ever taken. However, no one is betting against you, so the odds are no longer worthwhile. So...
You want me to lose the fight?
Well, that was easy.
I told you it'll be no problem.
You give me a cut of the gate, I'll make it a fucking work of art.
You better make it look real.
You learn to think for yourself, Martin. That's good. Lose well, Martin Tillman. Your life depends on it.
I know. Strictly speaking, I promised I wouldn't gamble. But it's a sure thing. I did my research on this guy. Martin will tear him apart. We'll go south to your family. We'll buy a bar. A bigger one. Thailand, maybe. Yeah. When the Europeans start arriving, the Americans will be next. And we'll be in a great position to make some money.
How much did you gamble?
Now, don't you worry your pretty little head about it.
你答应我的，你王八蛋！